What's up, boys? Welcome to the first episode of Mark's Remarks, and today we will be discussing biblical passages from the book of Mark. And we will begin with our first section here, Mark chapter 8, verses 27 through 30.
The passage reads, Now Jesus and his disciples set out for the villages of Caesarea Philippi. Along the way he asked his disciples, Who do you say that I am? They said in reply, John the Baptist, others Elijah, other ones of the prophets. And he asked them, But who do you say that I am? Peter said it to him in reply, You are the Messiah. Then he warned them to not tell anyone about him.
Some background information on this Bible passage. Caesarea Philippi was a Gentile city, and it was just beyond the northern border of Palestine. And at the time, when Jesus was alive, the popular opinion that he was a prophet, but there's actual no consensus or agreement as to which prophet that he was. So there's a little bit of fog around that. And the part about Peter's confession that you are the Christ to Jesus is a pivotal point in this part of the Bible because it marks the climax of the first half of the Gospel of Mark. And these verses from the Gospel are so important because they counteract expectations that the Messiah would be just political and military figure, which is what a lot of the Jews thought at the time.
Yeah, and also Jesus was called other names to mask his identity because the government was not accepting of how he is this Messiah, and then it influenced him to ask the disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" Which is also something that we should ask ourselves: is who Jesus is for us and what he does for us.
All right, so our second passage is Mark 13, verses 5 to 13. This passage is about Jesus speaking to his disciples about the signs of the end times and the persecutions that will be faced. So it begins with Jesus began to saying to them, See that no one deceives you. Many will come in my name, saying, I am he, and they will deceive many. When you hear of wars and reports of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things happen, but it will not yet be the end. Nations will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes from place to place, and there will be famines. These are the beginning of the labor pains, the coming persecutions. Watch out for yourselves. They will hand you over to the courts. You will be beaten in synagogues. You will be arraigned before governors and kings because of me, as a witness before them. But the gospel must first be preached to all nations. When they lead you away and hand you over, do not worry beforehand about what you are to say, but say whatever will be given to you at that hour. For it will not be you who are speaking, but the Holy Spirit. Brother will hand over brother to death, and the father his child. Children will rise up against parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but the one who perseveres to the end will be saved.
That's pretty deep.
All right. So Jesus is saying that nations are going to be at war, and a way this can connect to present teens, because nation against nation, such as like Ukraine versus Russia or Israel and Palestine. And it also says the birth pangs, which are the signs of the beginnings, such as wars and natural disasters, earthquakes from place to place, and famines. And then he also says the coming persecutions, which is Jesus predicting family relationships will betray one another, even leading to death, because it says, brother will hand over brother to brother and father his child. Children will rise against parents and have them put to death. And Jesus concludes his message by saying that his followers will be hated because they worship him. Because it says, you will be hated because of my name. And then Jesus, he urges the followers to remain faithful despite the ending.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of connections from this Bible passage to times nowadays. Just seeing how you can find connections, and seeing that Jesus, he understood the challenges that we will face, that humanity will face. But I think perseverance and faith in God is one of the most important things in hard times. So.
Yeah, and I think he knows what's gonna happen because obviously he sees the nations, but he also sees persecution coming. But even before before it was really seen, the faith was already persecuted when he was born, but then it got worse as as his name grew, but like he knew that I was gonna keep coming just because of his name.
Yeah. Any comments, Zach?
No.
All right. Thomas?
No.
All right. So thank you for listening to Mark's Remarks. And part 2 of the series will come out very soon. Thanks for watching, and see ya.